Coming up on WUFT's First at 5, we're live at United Way ahead of a meeting to discuss the point-in-time count in regards to homelessness across Gainesville.
Also, President Trump's administration has begun their crackdown on immigration, the latest on executive orders being put in place.
Plus, a Gainesville staple set to receive a much-needed facelift. We're live at Citizens Field to detail the scheduled renovations. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
We begin with a live look at the White House, where a bombshell executive order came from President Trump this morning, calling for a national funding freeze while his administration reviews federal loans and grants. Welcome to WUFT's First at 5. I'm Bailey Korinek.
And I'm Eva Garcia. Thanks for joining us. The move could temporarily affect trillions of dollars in a wide scope of initiatives, ranging from healthcare to education programs. It's a part of a wide-ranging review of federal spending following a freeze on foreign aid earlier this week. Administration officials said the federal assistance to individuals would not be affected, including Social Security, Medicare, food stamps, student loans, and scholarships. We want to take a look at some of the local impacts of this executive order as the annual account documenting North Central Florida homelessness feels the effects of this order. Volunteers kicked off the first day of the count this morning. WUFT's Radesha Robinson joins us live and tells us many walked away with growing concerns about the future of their mission to serve the community.
Exactly. Earlier, the community staff officials held a crucial meeting right outside here on how this will affect Alachua, Bradford, Gilchrist, Levy, and Putnam counties, and how officials are also trying to think of a backup plan on how this will affect the point-in-time stats. The funding freeze comes just as local organizations prepare for their annual point-in-time count, a critical event where volunteers gather data to access the number of people experiencing homelessness. Advocates hope the federal leaders will reverse this freeze to prevent a potential crisis on the streets, like reducing the amount of homelessness.
Homelessness will rise, that we'll continue to see more people on our streets, more tents popping up, more panhandlers. And from that, we'll continue to hear more concerns from neighbors and business owners, and frankly, just a reversal of all the progress that has been made over several years.
There is a chance the task force will not have access to the funding at this time. Members are unsure when it will be restored. There will be a meeting tomorrow with local nonprofit partners. Live in Gainesville, Radesha Robinson, WUFT News.
The executive order has also paused a nearly $11 million grant for electric vehicle chargers for the city of Gainesville. The city received the money from the Biden administration to build new charging stations. However, after his re-election, President Donald Trump has signed an executive order putting funding for that program on hold. There are currently 126 charging stations throughout the city, and the grant would have given the city the ability to install 47 new chargers. The Trump administration now has 90 days to review the grant and make a decision. The University of Florida says that it is working to track the latest developments on the federal funding freeze. UF Research is advising faculty to continue conducting grant-related activities for already allotted funds. The university encourages all faculty and staff to continue with business as usual as developments continue.
Let's take a look at Paynes Prairie for your evening drive home. Weather conditions appear a lot more pleasant than the freezing temperatures last week. UF forecaster Matthew Clark joins us now with the weather forecast. Matthew, you're tracking a bigger warm-up in the days to come.
Yeah, it's crazy what a week can do in the weather. I mean, last week we were freezing, and right now we're just shy of 70 degrees. It was a lot sunnier out earlier today. A couple clouds have moved in from the west, getting some winds from the west around 6 miles per hour. Kind of dreary overlooking our campus cam. Again, those blue skies were out earlier. So if you were outside, you were seeing those blue skies, but we do have a high pressure system kind of kicking some cloud coverage from a pressure system out to the west. I'll touch on more on that in a few minutes. Covering Texas, bringing in all that moisture and clouds to our area right now. It's going to start to get a little bit more overcast as we head into tonight. But again, the warm-up is the big news. Last week freezing. Here we are in the 70s, 70 in Gainesville, 72 over in Ocala, and the rest of our area relatively high in the mid-60s. It's been beautiful outside. Winds from the west are coming in. I'll have more on the system coming up in a few minutes.
We told you just a few minutes ago about President Trump making big moves in his presidency. As of today, most federal funds will be paused, leaving programs from big cities to rural areas in limbo. NBC's Aaron Gilchrist has details from Washington.
With the click of the send button, the Trump administration announcing a pause on federal grants and loans, plunging states and organizations across the country into chaos and confusion. The president's spokesperson, Caroline Leavitt, trying to clear the air in her first White House briefing.
Social Security benefits, Medicare benefits, food stamps, welfare benefits, assistance that is going directly to individuals will not be impacted by this pause.
The Office of Management and Budget's two-page memo halting billions of dollars, including for foreign aid, non-governmental organizations, DEI, woke gender ideology, and the Green New Deal. OMB says it needs to determine the best use of funding. Democrats were quick to call foul.
Just like the January 6th pardons, this decision is lawless, dangerous, destructive, cruel. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional.
The memo also noted an exception for Social Security and Medicare and direct payments to individuals, but doesn't specify what programs that includes. Even Republicans questioned that move.
All I can say right now, I hope it's short-lived. There's no reason for the disruption. This stuff is appropriated by Congress, and it's already been signed into law. So I would say I disagree with it.
The rapid-fire changes coming as immigration raids ramp up, and newly sworn-in Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem gets a first-hand view as President Trump continues to reshape the government to his agenda.
Florida lawmakers Tuesday could pass a plan to revamp immigration-related laws amid a clash with Governor Ron DeSantis. The GOP-controlled legislature is advancing a $500 million proposal aimed at carrying out President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown. The legislation would do away with in-state tuition breaks at colleges and universities for undocumented immigrants. It would also give State Agricultural Commissioner Wilton Simpson the power to enforce immigration policies and steer hundreds of millions of dollars to law enforcement agencies to support Trump's policies. State Senator Ben Alberton is the Senate president.
Our goal, in concert with the president, gives our communities more badges, more beds to hold criminal aliens, and a laser focus on catching criminals who violate our laws.
More changes could be made to the proposal, but neither the House or Senate had yet taken up on the bill. The special session could run through Thursday.
A 17-year-old Marion County teen was arrested after deputies say he was exchanging child pornography on a streaming service. Brian Alvarez Torres is being charged with multiple counts of possession and distribution of child pornography. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reported to Marion County detectives that child sexual abuse material was found on the communications app Discord. Investigators say he uploaded the files and discussed it in a group chat. They say he confirmed the crime.
The Alachua County Sheriff's Office is seeking information on the whereabouts of a wanted sex offender. Christopher M. Duncan is wanted for multiple sex offender violations, and a reward is being offered for information leading to his arrest. Duncan has previously been arrested for sex offender crimes, and any person with information should contact the Alachua County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers.
The Alachua County Commission meeting is underway right now with multiple issues on this evening's agenda. The Florence landfill is expected to be a top issue. The landfill, which is located in southeast Gainesville, lies near Paynes Prairie and residential neighborhoods. It has been in operation for several decades and has been renewed 5 times since the original approval. The latest application expired in September of 2024, and the property owner is now using an emergency order extension. The Board of County Commissioners will hear a presentation on the status of the landfill and take public comment.
Also on the agenda is a small request to add a small-scale alcoholic beverage production facility to the Alachua County Unified Land Development Code. Currently, Alachua County does not have a specific definition for these production facilities. The proposed amendment would allow restaurants and bars to integrate alcoholic beverage production for on-site consumption. Gainesville Mayor Harvey Ward will hold the annual State of the City address tomorrow at 10 a.m. The speech is open to the public and will be at the Cade Museum. Mayor Ward will aim to highlight the city's progress and initiatives. Topics expected to be covered include economic development in the East Gainesville and downtown, the impact of the Gainesville Gun Violence Prevention Program, and affordable housing policy. A live stream will be available on the city's Facebook page.
Coming up on WUFT's First at 5, a local school board will address work being done to expand education in the county. The items leaders say will be on the focus of their agenda.
Plus, we explore Gainesville's new plans to renovate the community. We'll be back after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
People met at a stakeholder meeting to discuss the revitalization of Citizens Field, a project that has been in motion since 2023.
WUFT's Amelia Boutros joins us live from Citizens Field to tell us more about the progress regarding the renovations.
Where I'm standing, you'll get the biggest update. New grass fields, new stands, and a new track around the football field. Some say it's time for the stadium to get a fresh start.
Citizens Field is home to many high school teams. Plant mechanic Clint Bryan says the field needs an upgrade after many years of wear and tear.
It's very well overdue. This facility is old and it needs an upgrade.
60 years without major renovations. For 19 of those years, Bryan's been on the job. As the years passed, he noticed a decline. Nails protruding, rusty bolts, patches of missing grass, an outdated scoreboard, and cracks in the stands. He's looking forward to the renovations. So is City Commissioner Cynthia Chestnut. She believes it will open new possibilities in Gainesville.
We have an opportunity to create a gateway to East Gainesville, creating this economic development opportunity.
A field of imperfections that will soon get the attention many say it needs.
A few key areas include updating the MLK Multi-Purpose Center, improving the pools, and a possible construction on a new fire station. Live from Citizens Field, Amelia Boutros, WFT News.
The Gainesville Jewish community observed International Holocaust Remembrance Day yesterday, commemorating the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. The University of Florida Shabbat Jewish Student and Community Center hosted 97-year-old Helga Melmed, who survived Auschwitz as a teenager. Over 400 people attended the event. Melmed spoke on her childhood in Germany and how she persevered through the horrors and eventually ended up in the United States. The event came as the Anti-Defamation League tracked a 140% increase in anti-Semitic incidents in 2023, following the October 7th attack in Israel that left almost 1,200 Jews dead.
The College of Central Florida in Ocala is hoping to address the critical nursing shortage with a new state-of-the-art facility. The college will host a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new Advent Health Center for Nursing Thursday. A press release says the center has skilled labs and simulation rooms that will serve more than 300 students in RN and bachelor's degree programs. The college said the new facility cost $20 million to build. Tonight, school leaders in Marion County will work to open up their wallet to address a number of agenda items. Part of tonight's meeting will include discussions on pay raises for a number of jobs, including principals and assistant principals, athletic trainers, and employees who work with the school's after-school programs. In addition to the pay discussion, the board will also address a change in construction reduction costs for 2 new elementary schools and work being done to add new classrooms to Liberty Middle School.
High temperatures reached the 70s today, but it's only going to get warmer from here. I will have just how warm after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
If you felt like this January has been really cold, well, it has been really cold. It has actually been the coldest January here in Gainesville on record, the coldest average temperature. That's the averages from each day, the highs and the lows accumulated over the month. The second coldest was in 2003, 48.7 degrees. The coldest was this year, 46.7 was our average temperature this month in Gainesville, which is the coldest on record. But we were above that this morning, 52 degrees in Gainesville and 51 in Ocala. We have slightly warmed up from those 50s into the upper 60s and lower 70s overlooking our campus cam. It was a beautiful sunny afternoon this afternoon, but the clouds have started to roll in. Looking over our west campus cam, starting to get some cloud cover from the west over there. Temperature 67 degrees right now. The rest of our state, though, right now 72 in Ocala, 70 in the Villages, and 58 down in Crystal River. A little bit chillier over there. Temperatures are going to start to drop tonight, and we are going to be back in the 40s tonight. So if you're going out and about tonight, those temperatures are going to start to drop down into the 40s. And when you're waking up tomorrow morning, some patchy fog is going to be possible, and temperatures are going to be in the 40s. Look at that, 43 degrees in Gainesville, 44 in Ocala. So we escaped the 40s for one morning. We're back in the 40s 40s again, but we are going to be continuing to warm up. If you're going to work tomorrow morning, this fog will be along 75 up through Marion into north of Alachua up to Bradford and Union County. So could be some patchy fog there. That fog is going to lift as we head into the early parts of the morning. Partly sunny skies and then some warmer temperatures on average in the 70s as we reach up, which again, we've seen a lot of cold weather this January. It's going to start to warm up because we have a high pressure system here bringing in a little bit of winds from the west. This is the cloud coverage that we're seeing, but I want to really be tracking on this low pressure system out in the Rockies right now. It's a lot of moisture here. It's a lot of fuel for the fire over Texas in this next front that's going to start to move its way through. High pressure moves its way on through. Low pressure reforms lee of the Rocky Mountains and a lot of storms fire up over Texas. This system is going to really start to invigorate as it heads towards the southeast, bringing in a lot of long lines of showers and storms, but it's going to weaken as it makes its way towards here. So we could see some showers as we head into the overnight hours on Saturday morning and Friday night. Most of us will be in sleep at this point, about 20% chance of rain before our next high pressure system clears out that atmosphere. So it's not going to really keep us cool. It's going to clear out that atmosphere, and life is the bubbles. Those temperatures are going to be beautiful this weekend. 78 degrees on our Saturday and Sunday as our highs, and we could even see 80s on Friday, but look at that, 70s across the board and maybe even 80s next week.
Coming up in sports, we'll take a look at what Gators are going to the All-Star Bowls. And it's a big night for high school basketball in Newberry. Our Shelby Hawks is live, and we'll hear from her next.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome to sports. I'm Alexis Tadros. It's that time of year where all collegiate football players are gearing up for the NFL draft, and we have some Gators partaking in two of the NFL's biggest pre-draft events. The East-West Shrine Bowl is the longest-running college all-star game, and this season celebrates its 100th year anniversary. The Gators typically have a strong presence. In the past 3 editions, 9 Gator players have participated. This year, the Gators are sending 4 players. They are cornerback Jason Marshall Jr., offensive lineman Brandon Crenshaw-Dixon, and running back Montrell Johnson Jr. You can catch the game Thursday night from Dallas on the NFL Network starting at 8 p.m. We also have some Gators headed to Mobile, Alabama to play in the Reese's Senior Bowl. We'll tell you more about that later in the week. Now let's transition over to high school basketball. And this could be a big night for Newberry's varsity boys basketball team as they go up against Gainesville High. And our Shelby Hawks is live at Newberry to give us a preview. Shelby?
I'm here at Newberry High School where the varsity boys hope to maintain their 12-game at-home win streak. Here with me right now is head varsity coach Patrick Green, and we're going to talk a little bit about this matchup. So first of all, having an undefeated team, that is a huge feat. How do you keep these boys from being complacent?
Well, you know, we have a motto this year, unfinished business, and so we just kind of stay locked in and focus on that. It's been a while since we've won a district championship here at Newberry. It's actually been 21 years, so that's kind of been our focus this year.
Wow, that is amazing. So you said it's been 21 years. It's been a long time. So even since last season, how have you guys changed and grown and evolved to have that new motto?
You know, I think the main thing is we've been able to keep our kids here. So a lot of the boys on the team are now juniors and seniors. When they started playing for me, they were freshmen and sophomores. So I just think they're just growing up.
That's incredible. All right, so tonight's matchup, Gainesville is also coming off a win. What are some of your strategies to plan for a win for Newberry?
Well, you know, Gainesville High is always, you know, a challenge for us, you know, much larger school and also much larger team, period. So the strategy tonight is to be able to try to keep them off the boards and try to out-rebound them a little bit tonight.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Green. These two teams tip off tonight at 7:30, live from Newberry High School. Shelby Hotz, WUFT Sports.
Thanks, Shelby. Men's and women's golf back on the fairways this week. The women were on the road in Jacksonville to play in the C-Best Intercollegiate Tournament. Meanwhile, the men were road tripping to California, participating in the Southwestern Invitational. Let's start with the women, who took down Illinois State by 3 shots and finished at 7 under par. The Gators were 5 shots back before a string of 3 consecutive birdies, which carried them to victory. The win is the Gators' 3rd consecutive win of the season. As for the men, they are currently tied for 8th place after a first-round team score of 9 over par. Gator and California native Matthew Kress had the low round for Florida with a 2 under 69. Freshman Zach Swanwick is tied for 16th, and senior Ian Gilligan is inside the top 25 after he shot 1 over. Maybe the time change got the best of them. Moving along, Gator baseball took to the mound to start their season after coming off their 2nd straight appearance in the College World Series. This past weekend, the team held 3 intra-squad scrimmages as part of spring practice and season preparations. Monday, it was revealed the Fighting Gators are ranked 7th in Baseball America's preseason top 25. And if you're not scoring this Valentine's Day, mark your calendars for baseball's home opener on Friday, February 14th. The Gators will host Air Force for the first time in program history. And one nice thing for the baseball team, their scrimmages are much warmer this week.
Well, Alexis, I will not have a date on Valentine's Day, so baseball, see you there.
Yes. Me too, Bailey. See you there.
Yeah, we'll have nice weather for it at least. And
That is always, it's so great. When it's nice weather, my favorite thing to do is like eat ice cream and watch baseball.
Yeah,
That's great.
no better activity than to watch baseball and to soak up the sun and go sit on that berm. It's beautiful out there. Temperatures are going to warm up as we head into this week, and Friday we could possibly even see 80 degrees here. 79 is the high right now, but we'll see how warm it actually gets. Cold front kind of knocks us back down into the mid-70s as we head into next week, but then Tuesday we start to warm back up, and look at those lows. We're in the 50s. Those average temperatures were in the 40s this month, so it's finally good to get some Florida warmth back.
Thanks for joining us. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on WUFT.org and on all our social media platforms. Have a good night.